Good morning, my dear students. So today, in the Python Panda data frame, that data construction, Python Panda programming, what we will going to do here today, we will going to do the CSV file. So CSV file we are doing last video also. You have seen the CSV file. What are the thing that we will going to do? The removal of the initial space. Okay, the first program that will show that how we can remove the initial space. Second program we will going to find out the number of rows and field name in the CSV file, and third program we will going to read and write the data in the CSV file, and also it will help to find out the number of columns and rows and the space that are been allocated. Everything will be counted there. Okay, so this is what the CSV that we are creating. We are making the CSV and we are implementing the CSV, that is comma value separated file. That means backend Excel is working and front end Python is working. I am constructing this particular thing and I have working on it. So let us see the first program. Now see the first program. First program, what we say that we need to remove the space from the CSV file. Now what does this particular space is removing? Space removing means, suppose you are writing one name, then what we find when we are seeing the output, that when you are writing a name, that particular name, then the space, then again inverted comma, again another particular qualifications or the values. So this way the thing will going to come, isn't it? So as it is coming in that particular way, what we will do, we will remove those space. Okay, so how to do it? How to remove the space, any type of quotient, any type of inverted comma, because we see the things come in an inverted comma and there is a space between them and they are been maintained, they are been output is been shown in that particular way that we wants to make it. That means those the space, inverted comma, quotations, or everything is there. So all these things how we can remove from where? From the CSV file. CSV means comma separated value file. Comma separated value file means what? See, CSV dot register underscore dialect. What we are using? Register underscore dialect. Okay, dialect. CSV underscore dialect. We are named it CSV underscore dialect. So comma, what to dialect? Delimiter. Delimiter what? This one line. What is this line is known as? This is a space. Okay, then skip initial space. The initial space what? That is true. And quotation CSV dot quote underscore all. So see, I have called that particular thing, I have called that particular registered dialect. Under the registered dialect, what I call CSV dialect. First you have to give the name the CSV dialect, and under the CSV dialect, what it will going to make that those delimiter, if a delimiter means space and those different type of special signs and all, then skip initial space. If any initial space is there, skip it. That is also be true. And quote CSV dot all quotes. Any quote is there, all quotes to be make it. So how to do? That means we have called here lot of programs, functions, isn't it? Now with open person.csv that we are calling here person.csv, then what? In a read mode. This is what read mode as CSV files. Fine. So person.csv we have created last video only. I have shown you how we have created the files. So after that, what? Reader equals to CSV dot reader. That means what it will going to read? CSV dot reader. Then CSV files. This is the CSV file what we have given. CSV file. Then dialect equals to CSV dot dialect. That means it will call all these things to be initialized. Now for row in reader. Okay, for row in reader, print rows. That means row will be now in the form of each reader part, and that will going to print. So this way what we are taking, we are taking the values. As we are taking the values, we are making those values to be initialized. We find it that how we are working on this particular value, and we can see it that how we can initialize it. Okay, so that means what is the simplification that we can come out from here? That any type of space, any type of quotes, any type of inverted comma, all these particular things which will come in the middle, that we need to remove. So how to remove it? csv.register. csv.register what? csv.register under dialect. Okay, csv.register underscore dialect, then csv underscore dialect is there. So as we find it, as we see it, that we are going to have this particular thing. Then what we have, delimiter. Delimiter means what? That we are finding out that what are the different type of specifications are there. Okay, so those different pattern of specifications that we have, those the different pattern of specifications that we are working. So these particular delimiters are there, and we are working on this particular pattern of delimiter. So as we are working on this particular pattern of delimiter, that means we can see it, we can find it, that this the delimiter what is there, this is the part of delimiter what is there, that we are specifying here. Okay, after we specify those delimiter, then what I said, that skip initial space. If any initial spacing is there, okay, that to be skipped out. So that is what? True. Fine. So when we have said this, then what I have said, that quote equals to csv.quotes underscore all quote. Quotes all, so that all quotes all what is there, that we are needed to remove those particular thing. As we are removing it, then what we say, with open person.csv in which mode? In R mode. R means what? Read mode, as CSV files. So reader equals to csv dot reader. That means we are calling the csv dot reader. So as we are calling the csv dot reader, that means what? CSV files, comma, then dialect, dialect, dialect what? CSV dialect. That CSV dialect we have created, that CSV dialect what to be removed, that we have said that in the CSV dialect. So it will call that and it will remove that. Now what it will do, for row in reader, that means for that particular row in a reader, print row. Now let us see what is the output that we are going it from here. So now see the output. This is the output. What you can see, name, age, house. Then the name, then the age and the house. See the thing very minutely. Age, name, age and house, name, age and house. So those the three values we have given there. So those the three values as we have given there. There was this was within one inverted comma, then age is one within one inverted comma, house is one inverted comma. There is a spacing is there in this. Those the names what we have given, those the age and what. There are spacings are there. So all the spacings has been totally removed. Okay, whatever the spacings are there in each and every row, all the spacings has been totally removed. So this is what the program is. So from the CSV file we can remove the spacing, we can work how to implement those things and how to remove the spacing from the CSV file. Okay, now let us see the next program. Now see this particular one. In this particular one, what we can see, that we need to find the number of rows in a CSV file along with their names. Okay, so what we have done it, see, import CSV. So I have called here, I have imported here the CSV file. Import CSV. Then what I have said, that fields equals to what? Blank area, null space. Row equals to what? Row is equals to the blank area, that is a null space. Now what we have written here, with open. With open, what is the file I have taken? person.csv, because we have created already the person.csv as a file. Now we have given here data equals to csv.reader file delimiter. What a delimiter? See here, space, then quote character within inverted comma, comma. Now following the commands to skip the first row of the CSV file. These commands will what to go skip out the first row that is in the CSV file. Now field equals to next data, that means it will go to the next data. Now for row in data, what the row? Print comma joint row. So row are needed to be joined. So what we say, total number of rows, what? Data dot line underscore num minus 1. So from suddenly where it came, question rises, suddenly where it came. So it doesn't come suddenly, it is one pattern of a function. Okay, what is a function? Function is a line number, that we will going to get a line number. So data dot line number, that means we are calling this function. So who has created? Already it is created in the Python itself. Okay, so when we are calling the CSV, under CSV this particular thing is there. So data dot line number, that we are calling, and minus 1, so we know that plus 1 and minus 1 we have done earlier also in class 11 also we have done it, all these things. Suppose if you want to show the position in a proper, then we are adding there plus 1, or sometimes we are subtracting minus 1, so that we are doing. So what will be the value? From that value, what? Minus 1 to be deducted. So field names are, what is a field name? Now how to find a field name? See, this is the way this command if you write, then you will get a field name. What? That comma, okay, within a single inverted comma, then dot join. What we are joining? Fields for field, field for field, as in fields. That means fields is that particular area where we are taking those all the data, isn't it? Previously it was blank. Previously when it was blank, now we are taking here all the data. So when we are taking the data there, say next data, that means what is the next data that will going to come? So that way it will going to circulate, and it will going to find that what is that particular position that we have left it out, and that value will going to be retrieved. Okay, so this is how we can find it, this is how we can see it, that how we can make this particular thing to be implementable, and how we can make this workable. Okay, so what we have done, then what we have find it out here, we have find it out that input CSV, then field we have taken one blank area, after that rows also we have taken one blank area. So two blank area we have taken. Now what we have done, we have opened with open person.csv. So we are opening it with open person.csv as field. Fine. So when we are making this, when we are doing this, then what we have given, data equals to csv.reader. csv.reader file, then delimiter, that we are giving a delimiter, what the delimiter is to be given. That means what the delimiter we are taking, a blank area. Next what we have given a quote cat, that means a comma. So all this particular thing we are taking it from there. Okay, so those the things, what these are the delimiter. Last program only I have seen it, and we have seen it, that how we are moving those particular space and how we are delimiting the particular space. Okay, the comma, the inverted comma, and etc, etc. So here also we are delimiting all these things. So what we now want to do, we want to skip that the header section. So skipping the header section, what it is written, that fields equals to next data. So those the data what is there, that you come to that particular data area, next data area. So next data area, next is, you have seen the color has changed, that means it is one pattern of function which will hold some value, and there is some other type of function which does not hold the value. So there what we can find, that dot join, then row. Joint is also a function. Okay, print that comma dot joint row. What to join? The rows to be joined. That means we are attaching here those the functions are there. Fine, we are attaching here those the functions, and we are implementing those functions. After that, what we can find it here, that we have a data line, data dot line number. This is also one function is there, that we are calling here data, and under the data we are calling the line number. Now from there we are deducting minus 1. As we deduct minus 1, obviously if it is a 10 it will become 9, if it is a 4 it will become 5, isn't it? So value will be one place deducted. This now modulus means this total thing that we are getting from here. That means this is the format that we are calling the particular data of the line faces. Okay, now we are taking the field and that to be printed out. We need to print it, so that is how we will percent modulus sign if you give, that means it will going to call it and it will going to print it there. Field in name, that means what are the field, then we are saying that joint is also a function. Field in field in field, that what is the field that are in the field, for field in fields, that all the total fields what are there that are to be called one by one and that are to be implemented. So let us see what the output that we can get it from here. Okay, now you see the output. What you can see in the output, see there all the inverted comma, then the space. Okay, all this thing has been removed. Everything has been removed. Previously what you can see, the previous one you can see here, in this previous one that is within a particular bracket also, I have removed that bracket also. Everything has been removed. Only one separation value is remained, that is only the comma. Except the comma, nothing will be there, that we have given there. Now total number of row that we have given, percentage that delimitates that row, that is 3. And fields, what we are doing, we are finding row in rows, for row in rows. That means it is taking that particular row name, age and house. This is the particular row heading is there. So this is the way that we can find it out, what we want to implement and what we can implement in this particular program. Okay, so let us see the next one. Next, what is the next program we have with us? Now see the next program. What you have in this particular next program, that we are importing, we have to write and we have to find it. So what we have done, see import CSV, file name equals to, I have given that person.csv. There only we are working, we haven't changed the file because already the structure has been created in the Excel, so we are not changing. If you want to change, you can change it. You can go to the Excel, you can give the different column headings and you can save it, and you can work on that particular, you can save it with a CSV and that you can work on it. Okay, so this is the thing what you can find it, that we are working on this particular structures. So these the particular structures what are there that we are going to do, that fields and rows. Okay, so when we have a field and rows, field we have to initialize the field position, we have initialized the row position. Two things we have taken. Now reading the CSV file, what we have done, with open file name, then we will going to R as CSV file. So see here I am not giving the file name. Why? Question rises, why that we didn't give the file name, that I'll come later. Why we haven't given the file name? Now I have written here directly file name. Now what we have written, CSV reader equals to csv.reader CSV file. CSV file, okay. Fields equals to next then CSV reader. That means what we are extracting the field name through the first row. That means we are extracting the value. Now extracting each data row one by one. What for row in a CSV reader, row dot append that the rows is there. Now what we are doing, see here, we are getting the total number of rows. How to get a total number of rows? Print. Just now I have discussed this, total number of rows modulus d. Now in this modulus d what will come? That modulus CSV reader dot line under num. That is one function. Okay, so this is one function that we have. Then printing the file name, print file name plus what we are doing, joint then field for field in fields. What are the field? Print the first 5 rows. Okay, so the first 5 rows, what we do, for row in row colon 5, that means up to 5 it will go. So pressing the column of the rows, so for column in row, what we do, what we have done, modulus 10s percentage column, that means each of the column we are giving one space, slash n, that means how much it will going to do, it will going to run till to the last value is there. Okay, now what I am saying that here you see that what I have taken here, I have taken here the field name, that is the file name. So when I have taken the file name here, person.csv, this file name I have called it here. Okay, so since I have called the file name here, therefore I haven't specified any file name there. Fine, therefore I haven't specified any file name there. So as I haven't specified any file name, we can see it, we can find it, that how this particular thing to be worked with, how this particular thing is working. That means I am calling directly the file name. So file name is coming here and file name is working. Then what we have, the CSV reader, we are calling this particular CSV reader. As we are calling the particular CSV reader, that means each and every CSV readers what are there, they are being implemented and they are being worked in this particular way. Next what we can find, that we have a file with the position of the next values, what is there. So those the files what we can find, that we are constructing and we are making on it, and we are giving some structures and we are working on this particular pattern or structures. Okay, so this is the structure, that means field equals to next CSV reader. We are calling here CSV reader. So previous case what we have done, CSV reader equals to CSV dot reader, then what, CSV files. Fine. Now what we can find, for row in CSV readers, that means what are the row there in a CSV reader, row dot append, what we can find, that we are giving here the row. Okay, now print, what we are printing here, what we can find it, that total number of rows. What is the total number of rows? What is that total number of rows? What we say, modulus CSV reader dot line underscore now. Line underscore num is a function itself. Okay, so as we are calling that function, that particular function will going to work in this particular area. Next what we have done, see, joint. The join dot that means semicolon comma dot join field for fields in fields. So those the fields, what are the field names are there, calling those fields and implementing it here. Now see, print the first print the 5 rows. So now I am creating the 5 rows here. How? Already only 3 rows are there, so how the 5 rows will be there? That means I am inserting some space there. One space, 1 row I am making it. See, 10% 10 is percent column. That what we are doing it, we are implementing it here, we are making the particular structure here to be implemented. Now let us see the output of it. Now see the output of it. In this particular output, what total number of row is 4, because why 4? We have said here 3. We haven't taken the heading in this area. Okay, so this heading portion, what is there, this particular heading portion we haven't taken it. So when we have considered that heading portion, that means total number of rows is 4. What are the field name? Those are the field name, age and house. Now we say 5 rows. 5 rows is what? See, 1 blank space, that means this is 1, then this is 2, then this is a blank space 1, 3, then this is 4, then we are taking this blank space and this is 5. Okay, that means 1 2 3 4 5. So blank space what we are implementing, this is 1, then this is a blank space 2, then this is 3, this is the blank space 4, then this one is 5. So there are the 5 rows now I have created without taking the field part, that field name, the heading portion of the column name, I haven't taken it here. Okay, so this is how we have created this particular structures and we have made it. So this is what the implementation of the CSV files. Okay, so thank you all. Today I am ending my today's session here. Thank you all very much.